Keep your trading simple. Why do you make this so hard and so complicated? All you're doing, you're not even predicting where price is going to go. All you're doing is just letting price action build its story and you react off of it. Trading can be as simple as just trading with the trend and trading breaks and retests, or even trading with the trend, right? And then you take a demand zone, which is basically just another way of saying support and resistance. You can take that with the trend. There are so many endless ways to make trading easy, but yet you somehow still figure out how to make it so complicated. I'm here to tell you and to show you a way to hopefully make it a bit more easier for you. It's still going to be hard, but listen, all you got to do, right? Just manage your risk and follow price action. There's many ways to do that. Find a way that suits you and keep tweaking that. Here in GBP JPY, I know in my last video I showed you guys this trade and I was in profits. I was like $14 in profits. Well, that eventually came to an end. I ended up closing this trade in break even. I closed it around somewhere's up here, so I only won like $1 or two. So, and I consider that break even because I didn't really make anything. So that was a break even trade. It just started to consolidate all up in this area, as you can see. And usually when price starts to consolidate like that, it it has there's a lower chance of the trade actually going to your take profit and actually winning. Plus, the thing is, it was ranging like this on a Friday, and I didn't want to hold this over the weekend and be in this disgusting price action. And on top of that, Sunday is Easter as well. So I'm just gonna wait until next week to look for trades. That was GJ. Euro GPY, right? Like, shit is so simple, but yet we as traders make it so complicated just to trade. All right, it doesn't matter what time frame you're using. Like you can use a daily, you can use a 4 hour, hell, you can even use a 1 hour. Let's say we want to use the 1 hour, right? All right, well, right in this price data, we are heading down, right? On the this is the 4 hour that I'm looking at. We're heading down, right? Yes, going into the 1 hour. And this is what I mean by like support SNR and supply and demand. They're both they're the same thing. Because you can have like this, people would call this a supply zone. It's just a resistance. It's another way of saying it's a resistance. But you can take a trade like this, have it wick, and then breaks. You just stop loss above the zone, add a 1-to-1, and see if it hits. It doesn't need to be like you don't need to have all of these fancy rules just to get in trades. Just have a simple set of rules that gets you into trades, and that you can also manage your risk easily. For this is what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at a little break and retest off the daily on Euro JPY. If we start to get a nice bounce away from the zone and start moving away from it, I'm going to enter. Have my stop loss well below the zone and my target at a 1-to-1, which it works out because that's right before the previous highs. That works out. USD CHF. Hell, we have price heading up, right? It's clearly heading up. You cannot deny that it's not heading up. If you say this is heading down, my man, now I don't know what you're smoking on. clearly heading up right there. And this is a perfect opportunity to take a buy. Like, yes, I know on the daily we have this support zone down here, and price could come to this one instead and bounce from there. But this is still a valid buy. You could buy this. Like it doesn't matter that there's another support zone here on the daily. Price is going to bounce, and we don't know where it's going to bounce at. Therefore, if you see a setup that's yours, you might as well just take it. You might as well just take it. Price broke the zone, came back down, retested. Not only did it retest, it started to bounce once, came back again, retested a second time, and it's starting to bounce again. That is clear sign that this pair might want to continue pushing up past towards those previous highs that it's made. And this would be a perfect opportunity for you to take some buys. This is actually a wonderful trade. I don't know if anyone actually decided to take this trade, but if so, this could very well work out. That's on USD CHF on the 4 hour, by the way. We got GBP NZD, right? Like, again, where is this going? My lord. It's heading up, right? That is the first thing we're doing when we're coming to the markets. We identify which direction price is heading. Clearly, this entire price, this entire set of price action, right? This entire data of it is clearly heading upwards. It's almost impossible for you to say that it's heading down. Maybe if you're looking zooming in like this and then you just see like, oh, I got my trend line and I got 2 touch points right there, and then on the bottom I get another 2 touch points, and now we have this descending range of price action. Like, if you're looking that close, sure, you could say it's going down, but just zoom out, get a bird's eye view of the market, and simply just ask yourself, where is price going? And in this case, we're heading up. Therefore, we take our little fucking rectangle box or whatever you want to call it and just mark up a zone you want to mark up. It could be this area right here. And also, by the way, it also does not matter how perfect your zones are. They don't have to be like so pinpointed perfect. It's just a range. So you can have your zone marked out like this. It doesn't matter. A zone you could have marked up is right here. That could be your first zone. Or if you see this as a support zone, that is perfectly okay. You can wait for price to come back into your support zone, have a possible reaction here, and then take longs from that zone. That is okay. Or if not, if you're a type of person who sees this as a obvious support zone, you can just wait for price to come all the way down into your zone, wait for some, bullish price action, and then take longs off that zone. It does not matter which zone you pick. Just pick a zone that looks the most obvious to you, and then wait for price to get there, and then wait for some clear signs that show that price wants to continue moving in its direction that it's been going in. In this case, the 2 zones I'd be looking at are is this break and retest right here, and then this bottom zone all the way down here. Still, like I just said, if you want to take buys from this middle zone that I have marked up, perfect, go for it. That is totally okay. That's fine. We're all going to be trading different zones, and that's okay. NZD USD. Where is price going? Pause the video and answer this question. Where is price going? Is it going up or is it going down? Alright, hopefully you said it's going down, because that's where we're heading, is down. Down to the pits of hell. So, we have break and retest there. And these are the types of breaks and retests you want to get into, where price just breaks a zone, comes back to retest, and it just instantly drops like this. Obviously, you wouldn't have been able to get in on the 4 hour unless you waited for this candle to close and then you entered right after. You could have done that with your stop loss above the zone and then targeting just at 1-to-1. This would have worked out. If you went to the 1 hour, you would have gotten a better entry. Maybe after this candle close here, stop loss above those highs, at a 1-to-1, and price still would have hit your TP. Those are the types of trades you want to try to get into. We have another break and retest here. Price is currently retesting the zone, but like I said before, I really want to see price push a bit deeper into the zone before I start looking for any signs of bearish price action to continue back down to these lows. So that's what I'm going to be waiting on for NZD USD. So far, this is looking great. Like, we have downward structure. We're in a clear downtrend. Do we actually have a trend line confluence here? I just want to see if we do. No, we don't. Not from these two peaks. This price is kind of breaking out. I know some trendline traders are going to be looking at this as a breakout, and they could be taking longs, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's their system, and if their system tells them to go long after a break of a trend line, then they must do it. That's not my system though. So just waiting for NZD USD to push back up into the zone a bit more before I start actually looking at it. Euro CAD. Now this one could be a bit tricky for some. Like, yeah, previously we were heading upwards, and then we started to just have this huge range where price is just going back and forth. And now the most recent price action that we have is price breaking out of that range and actually making a super clear break of a support and a possible retest of that support as resistance. So if price starts to retrace back up into the zone and comes and pushes deeply into it, yeah, start looking for sells. At that point, I'll be looking for some bearish price action to then take some sells back down to the previous lows. Stop loss probably around this high up here. And then targets, I always aim for a 1-to-1. I always start off my trades with a 1-to-1. And I'll close out the trade whether price is in profit and it's starting to range, and I'll just take profits there. Or if price wants to just instantly shoot down to my take profit and hit the full 1-to-1, I'll let that happen too. That's awesome. But a 1-to-1 is just easier for me to manage my risk. So that's what I do. Oddcat, I have all this shit marked up. We're just gonna delete it, right? And we're going to do a quick analysis on this. So if you zoom out all the way in the past, we have this history of a long downtrend. And this was a pretty huge downtrend. And that for since January of 23, and we broke out of it in October of 23. That's crazy. This is the type of stuff trendline traders or breakout traders of trendlines would look to get into. They'd see this huge trend line and they'd be waiting for their breakout, which they would have gotten right here. They would have entered, stopped below something like that probably, and then they would just, you know, just trade with the current trend. But that's not how I trade, although that does work. I've seen many people use trend lines to do that work. Um, Here's a break and retest though. Again, these are the types of trades you want to involve yourself in. Brace, breaks, retests. It didn't just retest once. You could have had your first entry there, it bounced up, it came back down to retest a second time. You could have had another entry there, or even if you missed your first entry, it gave you another chance to enter the trade again before absolutely skyrocketing upwards. And this would have been a great trade. In one candle, basically, that trade would have worked out. Look, you would have entered before this candle, hopefully, so maybe somewhere in between here. This huge candle would have essentially won you that trade. That was a huge fucking move. Let's measure this. Just from the open to the close, 91.2 pips in just one candle. That is fucking insane. Could have went to the 4 hour. You even had more chances to enter here. It gave you so many chances, and it's so simple to find setups like this. They're just so obvious and they're so hard to miss. A lot of rejection. You could have entered anywheres inside here. Stop loss somewhere's down here, well below the zone, just in case if price starts to make new lower lows and cracks below. You can close out way before price even comes near your stop loss just to manage your risk. And then your TP at a 1-to-1. And that one candle would have made you money on its own. Absolutely insane. That's the way, that's the power of keeping things simple. You're able to get into more trades. You can build up your experience a lot faster. And your intuition, you're also going to build that up as well. This is how you become a better trader. It's not by having black and white rules to follow all the time. Trading isn't like that. You need to have discretion and you need to have experience to dictate whether or not you want to enter into a specific trade or not to enter a specific trade. That is what's going to make you a more profitable trader, as well as your risk management. So my message for this video is just to keep things super simple and to manage your risk and to track your trades and to tweak your strategy until you find something that works for you. That's pretty much it.